The role of Muslim countries in the current turmoil. His Holiness, may Allah be his helper, said that although Muslims profess the Islamic creed, there is great disunity among them, and their actions often do not reflect the teachings of Islam. Despite having wealth and resources, Muslim countries lack both strong standing in the world and true spiritual strength because they do not act upon Islamic teachings. As a result, others take advantage of their weaknesses. Therefore, Muslim leaders must recognize the need for unity and strive to come together in order to protect their dignity and prevent forces that create division. His Holiness, may Allah be his helper, explained that true unity can be achieved by accepting the promised Messiah ﷺ, who was sent by God in this era to unite the Muslim world. Hence, Ahmadi Muslims have the responsibility to work towards this goal. His Holiness, may Allah be his helper, said that he has long warned against the worsening state of the world, and these warnings are now coming true. While Western nations have played a role in creating instability, Muslim nations have also contributed to the situation. Western powers stirred discord in Muslim countries in order to gain control over their resources. He said that the powers of the Antichrist do not allow true peace to exist, as they benefit from ongoing conflict. Although they claim to promote peace through treaties, their real motives are often to gain control of resources such as oil. The threat posed by establishing military bases in Muslim countries. The current conflict in the Middle East shows how the United States has established military bases across the region. These bases were presented as protection for Arab countries, but in reality, the threats were often created or exaggerated to justify their presence and strengthen their own power. Promises of trade and support were also used to persuade Muslim nations to allow these bases. His Holiness, may Allah be his helper, explained that tensions with Iran and theological differences among Muslim countries were exploited by Western powers. Because Iran had a strong stance against Israel, the US rallied Arab nations and established bases to protect Israel and assert influence over Iran. As a result, conflicts and attacks have harmed Arab countries, damaging economies reliant on oil and tourism, while Western powers continue to benefit from the instability. The seeding of discord among Muslim countries. An Arab journalist warned that Arab nations must remain vigilant, as attacks blamed on Iran could also be carried out or exploited by the US and Israel. The journalist suggested that these powers might eventually withdraw while the Muslim world continues fighting among itself. The fourth Caliph Rahimahullah had similarly warned during the Iraq War that such discord would spread. Since then, conflicts and unrest have continued across many Muslim countries, often with Muslim nations fighting one another. He said that this division has been fueled by Western powers and will only end by God's decree. Therefore, Muslims must pray for peace and follow Islam's true teaching of harmony rather than conflict. As Ahmadis, it is their duty to warn against injustice. Given the rising cruelty and conflict, a large-scale world war seems possible, and some commentators even believe it has already begun. His Holiness, may Allah be his helper, said that if the Muslim world unites even now, they can still protect themselves from these forces. The need for justice and upholding the rights of others. The current threat facing the world is very serious because many nations are driven by selfish interests rather than justice. True peace can only be achieved when people respect the rights of others. He said that he has warned the world about these dangers for a long time, and even those who once dismissed his warnings now recognize that large-scale war is becoming a real possibility. Regarding the Middle East conflict, His Holiness, may Allah be his helper, said it is claimed that the US attacked Iran to bring change and freedom, but such actions have instead increased support for Iran's leadership and caused further violence. Iran has responded by targeting Western bases in Arab countries, while accusations and counter-accusations continue over attacks on oil facilities. His Holiness, may Allah be his helper, said that such actions may also be used to create more hatred against Muslims. The loss incurred in this war. The war is becoming increasingly dangerous. Although Iran is firing relatively inexpensive missiles, the US must spend millions to intercept them. Some commentators say this is costly for America, but His Holiness, may Allah be his helper, believes the US will likely recover these costs from Arab nations by claiming it is defending them. As oil production decreases and prices rise, Arab economies may suffer the most, even more than Western countries. He said that the current US policy is not new. Powerful nations have often justified taking resources from weaker countries and impose sanctions on those who refuse to support them. Nations are sometimes pressured to join wars through threats, such as trade restrictions. When justice is absent, destruction follows. Some European voices have criticized the claim that wars are fought for freedom, noting that American wars have not brought freedom to women. He said that by involving Israel, Western influence in the region has only increased, while Muslim and Arab countries are being divided and turned against one another. Meanwhile, other global powers such as Russia and China are forming their own alliances. Unless the Muslim world recognizes this and unites, it will continue to remain a battleground due to its valuable resources. War based on hypothesis. The US and its allies claim they attacked Iran to prevent it from developing nuclear weapons or launching a future attack. In other words, the war began based on assumptions about what might happen. Some Western commentators have said that fighting Iran is far more difficult than expected and that the conflict may last a long time, causing great harm to the Muslim world. His Holiness, may Allah be his helper, also expressed sorrow that Muslims are killing other Muslims and that many innocent people, including children, have been killed. Some American writers have pointed out that if such tragedies happened in Western countries, they would receive extensive attention, but when schools and civilians are attacked in places like Palestine or Iran, the response is far more limited, showing how little value is often given to Muslim life. Muslim Ummah should unite. Disputes, especially those based on differences in beliefs, only create conflict. The Holy Prophet ﷺ showed great patience and compassion. When told someone was a hypocrite, he said no action should be taken as long as that person proclaimed the Islamic creed. Therefore, creating disputes over minor matters will only harm the Muslim world. His Holiness, may Allah be his helper, prayed that Muslim nations should not oppose one another, including Iran, merely because of theological differences. Islam came to establish the unity of God, and Muslims should not place their trust in worldly powers, as true power belongs only to Allah. There is still time to wake up and turn to God, because worldly interests have destroyed the peace of the world. Allah the Almighty states in the Holy Quran, "And if two parties of believers fight against each other, make peace between them. Then if after that one of them transgresses against the other, fight the party that transgresses until it returns to the command of Allah. Then if it returns, make peace between them with equity and act justly. Verily, Allah loves the just." The Holy Quran, chapter 49, verse 10. Muslim governments must act with justice and sincerity when trying to establish peace without being driven by vested interests. The real issue is the spread of discord, yet institutions such as the UN have not fulfilled their role in establishing true peace. Allah further states, "Surely all believers are brothers, so make peace between brothers and fear Allah that mercy may be shown to you." The Holy Quran, chapter 49, verse 11. Even if disputes arise between Muslim countries, they must remember their brotherhood and not allow small conflicts to destroy it, otherwise anti-Islamic forces will take advantage. He urged Ahmadis to pray sincerely for the Muslim world, especially during Ramadan, not only for themselves but for peace and harmony for all Muslims. May Allah grant the Muslim world the understanding to change and enable us to offer sincere prayers.